Hey guys, I don't know. I just don't know what's going on with me right now. Hopped on a computer, was like, you know what, maybe I want to play a game. Something to sink my teeth into for a few hours. I simply spent 10 minutes scrolling through different games, not wanting to play any of them. Loaded up Gorgon for a minute, and then quit out of it. I don't know what it is today, but I just feel like I just don't want to do anything. I have no drive to do anything today. I kind of just want to watch One Piece on my phone and do nothing else. That's what it feels like anyway. I don't know. I just don't know what to do. Keep dragging that oldie bag around, he's going to break it. Anyway, I don't know. I just feel like I don't have the energy for anything. Just tired of everything. Tired in general. I'm sick of this existence. I only really have the one friend and he doesn't hardly have any time. I'm hoping to get a job soon so I have something to do. I'm bored out of my mind and I just don't want to do anything. I guess after I'm done recording this, I'll just go watch One Piece on my phone because there's just nothing else I want to do. But anyway, I did promise a political update or whatever. So full of energy at that age. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, political. Well, needless to say, Orange Man needs to be peeled. He needs to get kicked out of office, plus every single person he put into office. Pam Bondi, out. The FBI director, out. Vice President, out. Johnson, out. Miller, out. All those people need to be out. Removed from office and banned from politics. All of them. All of them need to be completely banned from participating in politics. If not thrown in jail outright. Including Trump. Trump needs to also be removed from politics entirely. Do I think Elon Musk should get the same treatment? Elon Musk has already basically removed himself from government for now. He voluntarily got out because it was too much even for him. When the snake oil salesman, who basically makes a living off of, ripping people off, when even he thinks that Trump has gone too far, you know there's a problem. Basically, when the bad guy says that another bad guy is going too far, you know they're going way too far. But anyway, like the politics thing I wanted to talk about, so, okay. So how about this? The whole Kirk shooting thing. I might actually be one of those people that believe that the whole Kirk thing was probably faked. In some way, it was faked. It was a ploy by the wife to be CEO of the company, because that happened really fast. She became CEO of his company. She has ties to Trump by being part of his beauty pageants in the past. And she also has some other dark ties to charities that I guess had something to do with child trafficking and organ harvesting. Like, all the footage that the FBI released around this case, none of it adds up. They have no proof. The supposed person that they actually wanted the death penalty for, where'd all that news go? He was all in the news and then suddenly forgotten about all at once. Did he get the death penalty? Is he still locked up? Did they let him go? No idea. He'd vanished from the news entirely. He completely vanished. He was all over the news and then poof. They stopped talking about him instantly. Like, interesting. I didn't hear he was executed. I didn't hear anything. What happened to his case? Heard nothing. Just poof. Just no info. He was all over, big sensation, and then complete silence. Just instantly, there's nothing else said about him. Not to mention that the whole crime scene, I guess, lasted only 36 hours, even though there is footage that I have seen that, like, people within 2 hours were allowed on the scene and dismantling it. There were no blood splatters, despite the footage that is shown of him being shot shows a blood splatter out the back of his head, and yet no blood splatter anywhere on the pavilion. He's literally like 5 feet away from the wall. There should be something. Some kind of mess. I mean, heck, when he fell, like, he should have been bleeding all over the place. Where's the blood? Where's anything? Where's the bullet? Not there. Basically, all the, where's the photos of, like something that also doesn't matter. If someone got shot, you don't just wheel that person off, especially if they were basically dead if they were, one shot killed. You typically, you would leave the body for forensics. Like, a person was shot in the head, like, the chance of them surviving was very little. Like, once they checked for a pulse and there was none, you just leave the body there, because that way you can figure out what happened. There are telltale signs. If anyone who's even remotely, like, forensics is a whole field, and if you look into it at all, stuff wasn't done the correct way around this case. A lot of things were done incorrectly. I don't exactly remember right now the specifics, but I remember I looked into it, and there were quite a few things that was incorrect. Like, they broke at least 2 laws around the entire incident. And one of them, definitively, I know was, like, the doctor has to sign off that the person is deceased. And they didn't bother. They didn't bother. Isn't that kind of weird? They didn't get a doctor sign off that the person was deceased. So there's actually a chance that the person is actually alive because there was no doctor willing to say he was dead. A little weird. Like, the body was just shoved into a car and wheeled away. Like, you wouldn't try to stop the bleeding and call for an ambulance? Because I'm pretty sure the ambulance would get to the hospital way faster than that person would. Especially at, like, an event like that. It should have been, like, traffic would have been backed up the wazoo. Like, I bet it took them 10 minutes just to get out to just to get out of the area as it was. Whereas an ambulance would be there and out of there in about that amount of time. It doesn't make any sense. They would have waited for an ambulance. Police would have scoured the area. They found the shooter, despite it being in the wrong direction. The shot came from behind him, not in front of him. The very obviously CGI footage, because people have literally pointed out that there is an HD camera with 360 degree for tourists that has a full-on view of that roof. Why is there no footage? Instead, we get blurry, like, 2005 era cell phone footage that looks very, very fake. Multiple signs that it was faked. I mean, heck, there's even another footage that I watched where it literally shows a chair falling through a table. Almost every single bit of footage that I have seen that, is official footage of the incident is faked. Like, it's just straight up all faked. So I wonder if there it might have been a body double for all we know. It could have been a projector. Maybe he wasn't a full-on hologram, but maybe the projector made him look like the real thing, when in reality it was like a body double. And the projector made the body double look like it was alive. Who knows? All I know is that none of the facts around this case add up. They say the weapon was assembled, disassembled. They say the weapon was found like 100 meters from the crime scene, just stashed in the forest, and like the ammo had like trans things on it or so. It's just literally nothing they said makes any sense. Like, the supposed person that did it had like leaked conversation that is very one-sided, and I could tell right off the bat because I've interacted with chatbots. It looks like a chatbot response. That, like, absolutely everything said in that is AI generated. Absolutely every single letter in that was AI generated. I know. I've dabbled with AI apps a lot. Most of them are garbage. Sometimes they impress you, the majority of the times they don't. And this was definitely some ChatGPT stuff they just threw together. Or who knows what app they used, but to simulate that conversation was It was entirely AI generated, that is for sure. And then on top of that, the the trans boyfriend, roommate, whatever, the love interest of the character mysteriously disappears and is unable to be found for comment. Like, really? Really? This person just mysteriously vanishes. So nobody can get the other person's side of the story because the other person was spirited away. So that way they wouldn't be, they wouldn't whistle blow that the whole thing was a big hoax. It's similar to the whole Trump getting shot the first time. Like, I don't know. Like, nothing about that case made any sense either, does it? I mean, I've said before, what I think happened with that one was that this poor kid was basically shadow trained. If you're wondering what I mean by that, I mean that somebody was basically whispered in his ear, met in secret, put ideas in his head, and gave him the information necessary to pull this off. He was basically instructed to not shoot the president, but shoot near him as like a terrorist thing. And like, I guess if he does that, he gets like $1 million or whatever. He has a getaway car with explosives in it. Like, he only had like 1 or 2 weeks preparation for this whole thing. Usually if someone's pulling off this kind of thing, it's months of preparation. He had 2 weeks. That's ridiculously short. No one prepares that quickly for something like that. No, he was given information that he should not have had. Like, information about the FBI, like, not the FBI, but information about basically the holes in the security. From what I've heard of with, like, there were some internal memos that people have found stating that they knew that there was a hole there in the security, that roof was unmanned. They knew about it. And Trump literally told them to ignore that roof specifically. With some bullshit excuse stating that that the roof was just, too steep. It was dangerous, despite these being the exact same people that will rappel upside down an apartment building to take out a shooter that is holding somebody hostage. These people are trained to rappel down a building and stand upside down, hanging from a rope and holding a gun. A slightly tilted roof is nothing. Like, that roof barely had any slant. I think I could comfortably sit on that damn thing. And I have weak ankles. I can't even step on a skateboard without it flying out from under me like it's rocket powered. And yet even I could probably stand on that roof. It was only like maybe like an inch of a slope. Like, it was definitely not greater than a 45-degree slope. Like, that was nothing. So that is a very, very weak cover-up. So far, it seems like everything about Trump has been some kind of shadow government cover-up nonsense. Like, the majority of the conspiracy theories, the way I look at it is, look at all the conspiracy theories and only pay attention to the ones where they have not been disproven. If a conspiracy theory hasn't been, if a conspiracy theory has not been disproven, there's a decent chance that's probably what's going on. The whole Kirk hoax. Because there was no reason for him to be taken out. So I think his death was basically, his death was definitely orchestrated. Honestly, probably the wife wanted to shut him up and take over the business for Trumpy Wumpy. I don't know. This country is going to hell in a handbasket. One-way trip. Until Orange Man gets kicked out of office, we're just on the ride. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. The government's currently shut down, and it's literally shut down for the sole purpose of not swearing in this person who is the deciding vote to get the Epstein files released. The Republicans are blaming the Democrats when the Republicans have the majority of the seats. The Republicans could open up the government whenever they want to. They could force it to reopen. They are choosing to go on vacation, party in Mar-a-Lago. They literally had a roaring 20s party. You know what happened after the roaring 20s? The Great Depression. They know full on what they're doing. They want the Great Depression to happen because that was amazing for rich people. They want the market to collapse because that means they can buy up all the now cheapened stocks and get even richer. The stock market's at an all-time high, and they know a way of gaming the system. They just have a whole bunch of cash all saved away. Like when they know the stock market's about to crash, they're just going to pull out as what they can without being too obvious about it. And boo, once it crashes down, they're like, oh, look at all these cheap stocks, buy them up. And suddenly, all these people that had all this money now own even more companies. Like they buy up all this now cheap stock, and now they own half the damn country, even more than they already did. They are basically planning, as far as I can tell, a pure economic takeover of all the infrastructure that exists. If a company has stock, they're going to basically buy it because it's going to be worth almost nothing at the time. I mean, does that guarantee any of that stock eventually goes up in value? They don't care. They don't matter. They have all this money. They can do what they want with it. If they waste a few $1,000s on stock that never actually has any value, whoop-de-doo. That few $1,000s is literal chump change. They make more than that just farting. Oh, look, I made a couple billion. That just came out of their ass. I don't know. Put it this way, the economy, not the economy, that politics are screwed up when you can literally talk about politics to absolutely anybody and they fully agree with you. When absolutely everybody you talk to is in full agreement with you, that things need to change. You know something is messed up. Because people don't agree on anything. Especially when it comes to politics. That's probably the most... what is the term? Is it derisive? Yeah, I think it's derisive. The most derisive is when people talk politics. And this is the first time, I think, in our history that the majority of people agree. Go fuck yourself, Trump. Get out of office. Quit while you're ahead before you lose your head. Because someone is probably going to make a nice fresh guillotine for this so-called king. Anyway. I've been rambling enough for now. Just basically don't believe mainstream media. CBS is merged and is basically fully bought out by the right. Pretty much every major news station, don't believe a word they say. Go to Ground News, not sponsored, or honestly just look for smaller news stations that aren't as influenced by the right. I'm not saying the left is all high and mighty and in the right, which is funny because, the left aren't in the right because, they're the left. But I find it really funny that the right tends to blame the left and say the left is in the wrong when the right is in the wrong. The right aren't in the right whatsoever. The right are not even right in their head. I don't know. That's all I really got to say right now. Not much else going on. Anyway, well, that's a bit of political talk, I suppose. See you guys till next time. Bye.